Welcome to the first episode of the Double D Digitally Daring podcast with my co-host SB, or formerly known as Straight Balla, and the host, me, LAL. And what the podcast is about is we're going to go over certain things on the network of Digitally Daring and other things like professional wrestling and other things that are happening that we find interesting that we want to talk about. And yeah, that's what. And the podcast is going to last anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. We don't want to. If we don't have anything to talk about, we're not going to just ramble on for the hour. So yeah, we got that part out. SB, you want to say anything before we start going into topics?
I think you already messed up.
What did I mess up on?
I thought we agreed never to talk about straight ball again.
Oh, my bad. I'll edit that out. Well, probably not, but
That's a joke. You can keep it in there.
okay. So, we want to talk about Pinnacle Wrestling Association first. And recently, back in April, they passed the 500, or no, they became the number one Fed on FedWars. They passed World Extreme Championship Wrestling, yep, WECW, and just well, WECW.
And they passed NGW too on the way.
Did they? They must have passed them.
Well, I mean, in January, around January, February.
Yeah. But I mean, you could have seen the WECW. They were going.
Oh yeah.
Nowhere since Vastrix, since he left.
Took his ball and went home.
Yeah, and yeah, CWO. He's not much of a match writer, so he's
not much of a writer. Period.
Well, that is true. But he apparently sold his Fed to UCW, but that's another.
Haven't seen anything out of that yet.
Yeah, I don't think anything's gonna happen. But PWA just recently, I don't know how long ago. Do you know how long ago was that they passed?
It was about in the mid-June, all right, not mid-June, but like toward the end of whatever, last month of May, right? Yeah. A few weeks ago.
Yeah, that they passed the 500,000 XP mark. Now, XP, I mean, it doesn't really matter much on FedWars. It's just kind of a.
Well, it just shows they've been active.
Yeah,
and they haven't had no downtime, and they've kept their stuff up.
But there's been things that has been talked about with the different Feds about XP whoring here, and the Feds that have done it, they've kind of, because I've caught what is
UCW?
Yeah, I've caught UCW just recently doing it, and I've told them to knock it off. And I've caught Vastrix Fed Warhammer Wrestling Inc. They did it.
It must have been a while back.
Yeah, it was a while back.
I'm on staff on there now. I don't see anything like that, but
I think that was in the later part of 2012 when they did that.
That was when the first time UCW was doing it too.
Yeah,
and ASA did it too.
Yeah, Kinvar, yeah, he PWA, they're 500,000. They passed 500,000 XP mark, and I don't think any Fed, at least in the next, they're going to be in control of the board for the summer, I'm going to guess.
I mean, NGW's getting close. I mean, we took a hit when we had downtime, and then now we went to the bi-weekly, but now that we got Claw.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Since you guys got Claw, you're going to be able, you guys do a show, you guys alternate, right?
Yeah, 1 week it's NGW, next week it's Claw.
Yeah, so you guys will be on the same schedule as a normal Fed that has one show a week, and that'll make up for the XP. I still don't think you guys will get to.
Well, we're gonna get to 500,000 pretty soon.
Yeah, but I don't see.
We ain't gonna. It's gonna be a while before we catch Peter if we do.
Yeah.
Because And we're at 470 right now, and they're at 520.
Yeah, Pinnacle, they're going to be there for a while, I'm going to guess. It's going to carry into the fall before anyone gets close. UCW, with the help of some spamming, they've made their way into the top 5.
I remember the first time they spammed, he posted like 2,000 posts in one day. It was crazy, man.
Yeah, but we'll leave that be for now.
Yes.
And WECW, they're just going to keep falling. ACW, well, they still, and then once you...
Well, ACW, they got a new guy chart, helping them, Z2. He sounds like a stand-up guy. He's not just sending random contract requests. He's sending them PMs it's a copy-paste, but he's still trying to get people to join.
Yeah.
He sounds like a pretty decent guy.
But is Dreamstone, is he co-owner or what is he now?
They're both co-owning, I guess.
But yeah, once you get to WCW, which is a Fed no longer active,
yeah,
there's a fall off there's 100,000 XP gap between WECW and then you got ACW.
Oh yeah.
And then you got Apex.
It's more than 100,000. It's almost 200,000. Because UCW's right at 400 and ACW's at 220.
Oh yeah, well I guess if you're counting.
We're not counting WECW in this.
Active Feds, yeah, UCW, they're almost 200,000 ahead. But other Feds, there's still a lot of Feds down there, like NA3. You got New Wave, you got the National Wrestling. I'm not sure. I'm guessing he meant Federation, not Federation. And then you got Gate City Wrestling.
Gate City, that's a good Fed. Yeah. They're just gonna catch up on some XP.
And Mighty LAL, he recently signed a contract with the Psycho Wrestling Federation.
Yeah.
So we'll see if apparently I'm going to, I don't have the full details from Psycho, the owner, but...
was that what you was asking me if I wanted to win tag team gold?
Hey, yes, you never messaged me back here, so, I mean, we could go in there. They got tag team, who's the tag team title holders?
Let me see.
They got Tech Draven and the Collector. Okay, we could go in there.
That's the one that wants to match with you too, ain't it?
Well, Devin Bennett's the one that I'm gonna have a match with.
That's Draven.
He's the world champion in PWF.
Hey, you might win a world title.
I don't think we're going. I don't think Psycho's gonna put me in a world title match with him.
No.
But I think the plan. Well, I don't want to give anything away what he told me. So
yeah.
And I don't know I don't know how they kind of run it. After the message I got from Psycho was they're more storyline based. So I don't know if I don't know how the role plays playing and whatnot. So we'll see. Because I wanted to go, since the reason why I went up in there, or joined up, is because I actually wanted to role play against him and see who can actually
win.
Yeah. But if you want tag team titles before we take them in NGW, we should take the PWF tag team champions. Collector.
If he's up for it, I may have to send Frank Sokolov with you.
Okay, they're run by the same people, it looks like. Yep, it's the user of the world champion, so wow, he's pulling double duty here.
Wait, what is this now?
The tag team champions and the world heavyweight champion of PWF are all controlled by the same user.
Oh, okay, I see now.
But yeah, and so we're gonna move along from. So we'll kind of end the FedWars talk right there. But on the next week, or on the next podcast, I can't say next week because I'm not sure when. We plan on doing the podcast every week, but
We need to
sometimes.
get DDP on here one of these times if I can
Uh,
get him.
I'm gonna say that's slim to none. That's gonna happen. But hey,
I'm gonna keep bugging him.
well, if you keep bugging him, he might just show up.
Maybe
Um,
may come to cuss me out, but
yeah,
that's fine with me.
that'd make for an entertaining sequence. But so next week we're gonna have a guest on, and we're gonna try to have a guest on every single week, other than this week for the pilot episode. And next week's guest, it's not confirmed or anything, but I know that RB, I'm not sure how you say his username, but RB
Cardone.
Cardone,
I just say RB Cardone.
Cardone.
I don't know if that's how you say.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
how
know.
I say.
We'll have to ask him if he's on next week. But we're gonna have some guest on next week. I don't know if it's RB or who it's gonna be, but we'll
It'll
have
be
on
DDP.
or DDP. But don't get your hopes up. And and next week we'll be having a a wrestler profile and a event profile of a wrestler and a event. We don't know which one's it going to be, but it might be
If RB
associated.
Cardone's here, we may do GCW.
Yeah, that's
Something
what I
like
was
he's
thinking. We were going to do a GCW event, and maybe profile one of his characters. But
or his brothers.
he's got a
The
brother. Oh, that
Ultimate Ray New.
yeah, there we go. But so we'll end the FedWars talk right there, and we'll move and we'll talk. I'll talk a little bit about uh, Be the Booker, and then we'll do WWE Payback predictions, and then we'll end it right there. A quick, short episode for the first episode. Like I said, we only want to go 30 minutes to an hour maximum for the podcast because we know how. I know I've been with EA, Elijah Archer before,
And
and
you've been
going,
with
yeah,
RDJ and Insider.
yeah, and when I went with EA on his podcast, those things went for
Like 2
hours
hours.
upon it, and it just got. I mean, you don't have enough to talk about for 2
2
hours.
hours.
Yeah,
Well, the thing is, he'd have about 12 people on the show, and they all have to get there. I mean, you'd have to wait for it. I mean, it's not that they would, but everybody be talking over each other.
Yeah.
Mayhem.
So that's why we only want one guest. That way we can all have our say on what we want to talk about. We can ask the guest questions and whatnot.
We could direct the flow better.
Yeah. But
And keep it at a reasonable time, consuming people.
yeah,
I
don't
data
think
limits and stuff.
yeah, people don't want to be listening to e-fetting for 2 hours. Okay. I know I don't want to listen to anything about e-fetting for 2 hours.
No.
Well, I guess some might. I don't know.
Apparently, EA will.
Yeah, we'll leave him out of it.
Yeah.
He's a drunk Canadian. So, anyways, Be the Booker. I said if you haven't been checking out the Digitally Daring homepage,
No one checks that out.
yeah, probably not, but you should start going to that page. There's 190. I have 196 different match types that you can go through. Well, or match combinations. That's you can have. I'm gonna program them, code them into the sim in the simulator. So that's what I've been doing for the last 2 days, and I'm gonna guess that's gonna probably take me another week or two.
Should have it done already. Wow.
Well, I probably should, but because I've said that I should have had it out June 1st or whatnot, but I'll take my time, get it out. We'll have it out in what I'll call a beta release.
By all means, take your time because we see what happens when you rush.
Yeah, FedWars 3.0, that is a prime example. We don't want
Digitally daring, a little digitally daring.
Well, that was
mixture thing.
It
was pretty wacky at first.
Well, it was just because people had to They had to update their cookies and whatnot on the different
See, I
sites.
went for a month, like not clearing my cookies or anything. I was like, I'd get PMs and couldn't read them. I
uh,
thought, and that's right. I got my name changed, but it wasn't changed in the
mm,
FedWars database. I was thinking, are they just sending it to my old name or something? But
um, yeah, I don't know what that was all about,
well, you
but
got it
you're
under
all good
control.
now,
But
so everyone should all
yeah,
be good now. But if you looked, and then there's going to be a territory system, which should add some, uh,
old school feel to it,
yeah,
maybe
and make it because the objective in
more
there
like
is
a
a
sport too.
what's that?
Make it more like a sport too.
Yeah, well, that's the goal. That's the goal is that the actual wrestling matches are considered real, and you're not gonna be picking a winner. As a Fed head, you're not gonna be picking a winner. The simulator's gonna it's gonna be a tech simulator, so you're gonna be able to read the matches uh, and the moves that happen. Because as a wrestler, you're gonna control a wrestler,
Or
and you're gonna be able to select a move set up to 25 moves and a finisher, and it's gonna play through the simulator.
can you
And
change the name of your finisher?
uh, yeah, I can probably the name of the finisher. Yeah, that can probably be done, or it can be done. I haven't done it, but yeah, it can be easily changed. But um, yeah, the territory system. You're gonna be able to. The goal as a Fed owner is you're gonna want to control all the territories in the game. So you're gonna try to be a global Fed like the
Like
WWE, and the more fans you control, if you control a territory, you're gonna control a, you're gonna control, or
I read that they have to have a fee, pay
yeah,
you a fee in
yeah.
running that.
So if you control one, the other feds that run events in there are gonna have to give you a fee for running in that event, so you collect something. So you want to be on top, so you collect that extra fee,
Yeah, see,
and so
that
that
sounds pretty cool to me right there.
yeah, it should
It's
make
got a little bit
some
more strategy into it too, not just
yeah, it should make
top putting in moves and stuff.
it should make for uh, it's gonna be uh, like I said, it's not gonna be like FedWars in terms of role playing. It's gonna be a management, more simulator game, uh, and so you don't have to write anything.
They
Which
said region, the territory. Is it like states like that, or is it like just regions like southeast?
yeah, it's
North?
just like what FedWars has.
Okay,
A little, it's not the same ones, but
gonna
uh,
have more or
yeah,
something.
there's nine in each country that I have so far.
You
I
have a
have the
lot of
United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom. And as the game grows,
Is Europe going to be considered like the same country as like each little separate country as a whole territory?
what I could probably do is do something like uh, have Europe as has Europe as a country, called it in there, and then the regions would be the
Like North
countries within the
Russia,
Europe. So like Germany,
Russia.
Italy. Okay, Russia is not in Europe. Okay.
Part of it's in Russia, Europe. Part of it's in Asia.
Okay. Well, we won't get into a geography lesson. Okay. Um, uh, but yeah, you know what you
Yeah,
should
I know
know
what you're
about
talking
that.
about.
Yeah.
Italy,
Yeah.
France,
Italy, all
Spain.
those countries. And so yeah,
Then you got Asia. And
yep. So you could put in China and Japan, and then Mexico could have some, and then so there's a lot of ground to cover in the regions.
I mean, like the pop. Are you gonna have Australia in this now?
Well,
Or is that
not at the start. There's only going to be those three: the United
okay?
States, Canada,
Canada.
United Kingdom. They're going to be the three to start.
See, I think maybe. Well, no, you have cross seas. Let's say wrestling's more popular in Canada. I mean Mexico, I think, but yeah, you gotta have the cross the seas thing.
You know,
Makes it more real.
wrestling's pretty popular in the United Kingdom. Like
It's
once
like really popular in Mexico.
yeah, it's popular in Mexico. But Europe, it's not as popular. Uh, Japan, it's popular. Australia,
It's getting popular in Australia. It's picking up around
yeah,
there. I heard.
but it's probably not as. I mean, you don't hear about much in terms of uh, wrestling in Australia,
But
but
UFC's getting more popular in Australia is why.
yeah, UFC, yeah, they're getting more popular across.
Everywhere.
Yeah, but um,
Okay, so the your goal as a Fed heads to control all the regions and
yeah, become
the, the,
technically
inter,
in the
the
game,
international
yeah, to be a global uh,
phenomenon.
force, yeah. So
Use WWE slang there.
yeah, and I'll be posting more kind of
So
tidbits on the front on the digitally
and
daring page.
okay, so what is the wrestler's goal here?
Well, the wrestler's goal is to obviously keep improving, and uh, once you get into a Fed, you want to become, since it's real, you want to win the world because you want to win the world championship, or you want to win a title first, and then you want to go in and you want to win the the world, their world,
The world title, the main event title.
yeah, inside of that Fed. And each title is going to have a prestige amount.
Like in two, like in Get the Beat and A and Total Extreme Warfare games.
Yeah, yep, like yeah, where they have like the 96 and the. For those of you who don't know, it's just go off of prestige. The more prestige, the more honorable the belt is, the more you want to have it, and the more wealth and uh,
And more draw of fans it's going to
yeah,
bring.
yeah.
Okay,
And,
so is
and
there any tricks to getting your prestige up in that? Like, is it
well,
have it
the more you hold, obviously, the longer you hold it, it's going to increase. Uh, the more, yeah, the more you defend, not necessarily the more you defend it, but
just the
the
longer
longer
it's
you have
held?
it, it'll increase, and it depends on the just who holds it. If you're someone
Yeah.
who's if you win a world, I don't know why a Fed head would do this, but just say that wrestler A has 20,000 fans and wrestler B has 5,000 fans, and the wrestler B wins since you're not choosing the winner since it's
Yeah.
real and be the booker, uh, and wrestler B wins, uh, the
Pretty much it's
prestige,
like
yeah, the
if
prestige,
Curtis Axel and John Cena in the title match or
yeah,
something like that.
yeah, say something
John
like
Cena's
that,
gonna give it.
and
John
Curtis
Cena's gonna give
Axel
it more. Okay, so let you go.
and Curtis Axel wins, okay, say that he wins, uh, the prestige of the belt's gonna get lowered a little bit in the game. Uh, but if you have John Cena defeated, the prestige might not go up, but it's not going to change. And if you beat somebody who's say who might be better than you or who's kind of the same on the same tier as you,
Yeah.
uh, it'll probably have some slight increase and whatnot. But there's different things that are going to affect that, just not the things that I just said. Other things you'll have to once you get into the game, you'll have to figure out and whatnot.
So will prestige be like a character's attribute that sort of goes up, like a wrestler's attribute?
The attributes for the wrestlers is brawl. It's gonna be the same as FedWars. Brawl, speed, technical, and then charisma. The three.
It
What's that?
may be cool to have a like prestige rating to each wrestler, like how like a Undertaker'd have a high prestige rating
Well,
compared to like a.
I think that's more like the fans. The more fans
Well,
you have,
yeah,
because the fans are going to be included, and they're going to be a little bit. Uh,
more involved.
yeah, FedWars, the fans feature is not involved like how I
It's
wanted
not.
it to be, but in Be the Booker, the
Well,
fans are going to stay. There's 2,000 or 2 million fans in Region A. Uh, as so in a Fed, say a Fed takes 10,000 of them away, so then there's going to be 1,990,000.
90,000.
So there's always going to be 2 million there, but all the wrestlers and all the feds are going to be competing for those fans in that region.
So wrestlers are going to be competing with actually a Fed could take fans away from a Fed.
Can take. They have their own fans. The wrestlers have their own fans, and the feds have their own fans.
So it's like there's 20 million fans for wrestlers and a separate 20 million fans for feds, or is it?
No, there's just two. Just say there's 2 million fans in a region, and the wrestlers and feds, they're both competing for those 2 million in there. So there's only 2 million in there, and they're trying to compete for their share of 2 million, and the feds are trying to compete for the same share of 2 million. And
okay, so a wrestler could take fans from a Fed.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
Okay.
And vice versa. So it should make for some good battles. But yeah, and the wrestlers, right at the beginning, there's probably you guys are gonna have more suggestions for me to add to make it to make owning wrestlers more fun.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the goal right now.
I think it's gonna be fun on a wrestler just to build them up, to the main level.
Because you're gonna be increasing your move XP or your knowledge of the move. It's similar.
Gonna be more like
more like
RPG.
Yeah, it works similar to how inside of FedWars is, except on FedWars, I mean, you're learning all of the moves and whatnot. In Be the Booker, you're only choosing 25 moves for your move set, and those 25 moves will come into play in the simulator, and you'll be able to see them play out and whatnot. But we can talk about we're at the 40-minute mark now, so we don't want to go too much longer here. So we'll go right into the WWE Payback predictions. And so the first match that I have on the card.
Well, we also have we have another little guest picker with us for this one.
Oh yeah, and we'll have every single time when we do these predictions for TNA and WWE, we have Scoff Crates. If you don't know who he is, you should know who he is. He is the best bot in all of FedWars, and he's with us picking these matches, and he's fairly right.
Accurate.
Yeah, he's right most of the time. So,
if you ever been to the NGW IRC, a chat room, you know what we're talking about. Scoff Crate spot.
Yep. But if you don't know who he is, you should look him up, Google him, because he knows his stuff.
Well, he knows his WWE. We found out so far.
Yep. And you'll see it right here. So, the first match we got on the card. Now, the card will probably have more matches on this, but this is the current card. So.
We also forgot the pre-matchup of what's his.
Well, the Sheamus in that thing that if it's not on the pay-per-view, it's a step back for Sheamus. What he's doing not on the pay-per-view, so
he's on the pre-show.
Yeah, that's got to be a jab into him or something because. But the first match we got on the pay-per-view is Caitlyn. She's the current Divas champion versus AJ Lee. So.
And the Divas title's on the line.
Yep, for the Divas title. So who do you got winning the match? Who do you think? How do you think it's going to play out? And who do you got winning?
Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious. I think Big E Langston or someone's going to do something to distract Caitlyn, and AJ Lee's going to slap on her little sexy little finisher submission move she has up there. I don't remember what she calls it, and then Caitlyn's going to tap.
And so Scoff, he agrees with you. He picked AJ Lee to win too, and yeah, I don't see Caitlyn retaining after I watched the dumb little segment that WWE put on.
Big E Langston was a secret admirer.
So Big E, he'll probably get involved somehow. AJ Lee wins, and
I just need to say this: Caitlyn is a horrible fake crier. But she did
Yeah,
her little.
well, yeah, and Stephanie McMahon. So,
Yeah, she was better than Caitlyn.
well, they're both terrible at.
Caitlyn was horrible. I mean,
But I guess that goes with pro wrestling. Terrible act.
yeah.
Um, so in the next match, we got Wade Barrett, the Intercontinental Champion, versus The Miz, versus Curtis Axel, for the Intercontinental Championship. And Scoff, he's got Curtis Axel becoming the new Intercontinental Champion. Who do you got, SB?
I got Curtis Axel, but I think he's gonna pin the Miz in this one. I think they was originally gonna have whatever his name is, Fandango, pin the
One,
Miz, but
dong, go.
Fandango,
Yeah, however they say is,
pronounce it.
yeah.
Yeah, I think Curtis Axel takes it by pinning the Miz.
Yeah, I think this should be, well, I'm not sure how entertaining the match should be, uh, but yeah, I think Fandango, he was going to win it, but he has the concussion and was replaced by,
He caught it from Dolph Ziggler.
yeah, Dolph Ziggler gets done with his concussion. He passes it right over to Fandango. But yeah, I see Curtis Axel winning as well. Um, it makes no sense to keep it on Barrett and The Miz. I don't even know why he's in this match. But
He was in there to lose to Fandango.
yeah, and so yeah, we all agree so far on both of the first two matches, and now we got the United States Championship. The United States Champion Dean Ambrose versus Kane. Who do you have, SB?
I actually have Kane winning the match, but by disqualification from the other Shield attacking him.
Yep, I could see.
So
Yeah,
it's going to stay on Dean Ambrose, or maybe end up like a no call, like the Randy Orton Roman Reigns match
oh,
did, with the rest of them getting involved.
yeah,
That's
no
my
decision.
prediction. Yeah, no decision.
And Scoff, he's got Ambrose retaining the title as well. So, and I mean, I don't see why you would put it on Kane. Um,
No,
it'd be a step back and I think Kane. Apparently, I've been reading on the dirt sheets and whatnot that Kane and the Undertaker are going to take on uh, Shield members at SummerSlam for the tag team titles. So we'll see what happens.
So he's not going to take the United States title.
Yeah, I think Ambrose is a good fit with the title, and
well, Kane just don't need the United States title. Dean Ambrose, it helps him out more,
Yeah, and it adds like the prestige that we were talking about with Be the Booker titles. It adds prestige to the United States Championship, something that was lost with that, and hopefully the Intercontinental can gain prestige with Curtis Axel winning.
And also keeps showing the superiority of the Shield, their dominance.
Yep.
Keep it on him.
Because they're by far one of the best acts going in WWE right now.
Yeah, they're just beating everybody,
Yep. And so with the next match, we got Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, the WWE Tag Team Champions, versus Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton. And this match is for the Tag Team Championships. And I have Rollins and Reigns retaining because I have Daniel Bryan turning on Randy Orton in the match. And
let's see,
okay, go ahead. Yep.
I had the same prediction, but it's switched. I think Randy Orton is going to RKO Daniel Bryan.
Yep.
And let them pin him. I think he's going to do a heel turn.
They both Randy Orton.
But we know
he RKO'd Bryan on last week's SmackDown, and I think Bryan did something like on last week's Raw or something. He like drop kicked Randy Orton. So
no, it was in the same match.
Oh, was it?
Daniel Bryan was going to drop kick Seth Rollins, and Randy Orton was behind him in the turnbuckle. Seth Rollins moved, and Daniel Bryan drop kicked him. And then Daniel Bryan put Seth Rollins rolled Daniel Bryan, got to pin him. Then Daniel Bryan put it into a no lock, and then the rest of the shoot or Dean Ambrose got involved, and then Daniel Bryan cleared him out like he did that other time, and then Randy Orton RKO'd him.
Yeah, because
And then,
I only saw the RKO part on SmackDown. I don't really watch SmackDown other
I
than
don't
bits and
watch it much,
pieces.
but
So, but yeah, that's what I saw. And so
well,
you have Randy Orton turning on Bryan
I
and
think he's gonna do a heel turn
Rollins
because
and Reigns retaining.
Daniel Bryan just has too much fan love right now to go heel. I mean, every time he's in the ring, it's just a huge cheer, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
He's
yes.
he's getting the CM Punk treatment that he's
Yeah.
getting the
And I also know for a fact they're not going to win the tag team titles because it's
yeah. I mean
pretty
it'd
much
be
been confirmed that Daniel Bryan's going to challenge John Cena for
yep,
the title.
yep. And but the reason why Bryan would turn heel is because obviously John Cena is a babyface. Well,
I
technically.
mean,
But yeah, Bryan turning heel, that would set up the match
I
against
think
John.
just got to have him win a match, a little number one contender match, Battle Royal or something.
Yeah, that could be it too. Or just put Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton in a match for the number one contendership. That could work. But
I
and
think Randy Orton's going. They've been like hinting at a Randy Orton heel turn for a little bit. I think
yeah,
this is where it
he should
happens.
he should turn. I agree. He should turn. He's
He's
a better
better as a
yeah,
heel.
he's a better heel. And but Scoff, oh man, he's going out on a limb on this one. He's got Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton winning
He probably
the
knows. He may know more than us. You know,
yeah, probably.
he's always right.
Yep. And the next match, we got the returning CM Punk versus Chris Jericho. And Scoff has Jericho winning. Who do you have winning?
This is a hard one. I mean, it's really not hard because everybody knows Chris Jericho is there to put people over, and I think CM Punk wins it. But maybe towards a face turn for Punk.
Yeah, see, now that's what I read kind of on another one of those websites is that there's going to be a double turn in this match, and
Yeah, maybe Paul Heyman may
yeah,
help Jericho.
yeah, and Jericho joins forces with Heyman.
So that's what I like about these two guys because either one of them could be a good heel or a good face.
Yep. And Punk, he's coming out with new music apparently. So,
oh, he is?
Yep, he's apparently coming out with new.
They both run out of contract with the Cult of Personality thing.
I mean, I liked the song and it fit him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's apparently coming with new music because apparently he's going to turn face with this return. And I have Jericho winning as well. Who did you have winning? Punk?
Punk, because Jericho's there to put people over.
Yeah.
And he lost to Curtis Axel. I mean.
Yep. But I see Jericho winning because there's a double turn here with Punk and Jericho.
The thing is, he also doesn't have to put Punk over. Punk's already over.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. But we'll see.
But the thing is, Punk, it's no rubber match because Punk has beat him the last few times. So.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so and Scott, he's got Jericho, so.
But he knows what he's talking about, so I must be wrong.
And so the next match, we got the World Heavyweight Championship match. Dolph Ziggler, the world champion, versus Alberto Del Rio. And yeah, I don't think there's any extra stipulation for this match. So
it probably should have been a ladder match because that's what the triple threat was going to be when Alberto Del Rio picked it.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm
not sure if it is, but
yeah, that was for Extreme Rules, right?
Yeah,
it was going to be, but
he got the concussion.
Yeah. And
which they may not want to risk him falling and hitting his head again.
True. Yeah, because it seems like everyone's dropping like flies in WWE now because of the concussion. Yeah. But yeah,
Mark Henry's returning at the next Raw. So
at this week's Raw.
No, with the next one, this Sunday's Payback.
So he's going to be returning?
Yeah, at the next Raw, he is. I read that.
Oh, okay. So not this week's, but next week's?
Well, this week's Raw's already passed. This is Wednesday.
Oh, well, I'm talking about this.
Payback? Yes.
Yeah.
The one after Payback.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could, because I saw him wrote on Twitter or whatnot, or saw it on one of those websites.
Someone pissed him off.
Yeah.
They say he was going to retire because they hadn't heard from him.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, let's get back to the. I guess we should get back to the World Heavyweight Championship.
And I
I
have,
sure derailed that.
yeah. um, so I have. I don't see why they would take it off Ziggler. I got Ziggler winning. Pretty
If they
simple.
were going, if they were going to take it off Ziggler, they would already have. But they had the confidence in them.
And,
They're going to keep it on them.
and Alberto Del Rio, he needs. I don't know. I think they should drop him down into a mid card.
And then move him back to heel because I think he's a better heel than face.
Put him in. Put him in a match against. Or keep him as face and put him up against Curtis Axel or something for the Intercontinental Championship, something like that. I know
Maybe team up with Sin Cara too. That could be an
a
interesting.
tag team, yeah. I mean, WWE needs more tag teams, so that could be a possibility. And so you got Ziggler and Scoff. He's got Ziggler as well.
He's smart.
Yep.
But
as usual.
thing I also noticed, Sin Cara came out wearing similar attire as Alberto Del Rio this last Monday, so it's a possibility.
I wouldn't. I'd see more tag teams. So WWE could always use more tag teams. So
I love tag team wrestling.
Yep, that's one of the. I do too. So tag team wrestling.
And also someone else who I may like. He's one of my favorites. I would like to see him come back. Maybe come back as a heel, maybe a manager. Is Kofi Kingston.
See, I've never really cared.
He has great in-ring ability. He hasn't been too great on the mic, but when he showed aggressiveness against Randy Orton, that little feud, he actually did pretty good. So he looks like he's always been a babyface. He may need to be a heel.
Yeah, he needs to get rid of the Jamaican gimmick. Okay, he needs.
Well, he's not even. They say he's African. They already admit that he's African,
yeah.
but they still haven't come out to the Jamaican theme song.
But he needs to drop it. He needs to get a more serious character, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then
maybe he needs to come back with Paul Heyman when he comes back.
Yeah, he's got to get aligned. Either he's got to turn heel, or he's got to get aligned with someone like Heyman. Do something.
I mean, that would be a heel turn more likely if you went with Heyman. But.
Yeah. He's just got to do something and reignite his character.
Yeah, because
get a new. Well, obviously, he'd have to get a new character to reignite.
Yeah, I love watching his matches, but I mean, they ain't gonna push him at the main event level unless he changes that gimmick.
No, and another thing he's got wrong with him is he's black, and
they've never had a black WWE champion, but he could win the World Heavyweight title.
Well, I mean, other than The Rock, I mean,
well, they don't even count because I've already heard it. They say that they've never counted him as a black.
They just count him as
Samoan.
Yeah, Samoan.
I'm not sure he has any Samoan in him.
Booker T, or was he just World Heavyweight Champion?
He never won WWE. Yeah. Bobby Lashley was supposed to be the first, but he left before that could happen.
But yeah, if you're, I mean, it's almost a guaranteed deal. If you're black, you're not going to ever touch the WWE Championship.
Well, I mean, that's not certain stand down, but yeah, you're going to more likely get the World Heavyweight Championship. Yeah. You've been there for a while, like Mark Henry.
And it's highly unlikely. It's highly unlikely you're going to get the WWE Championship, anyways. Yeah. Unless your name is John Cena. Okay.
I mean, you have to be really over to get the WWE Championship. The World Heavyweight Championship is more like shifted down to like where the Intercontinental used to be, where it's you're going to test them out like this first before you move them on to the WWE.
Yeah, it should be the titles just should merge the World Heavyweight and WWE.
Yeah, and they should bring more prestige back to the Intercontinental.
Yep, and they should merge the Intercontinental and the United States Championship, in my opinion.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it don't hurt to have two mid. They should bring back the European Championship if they do that, though.
Well, I don't know about that because they trashed the European before that went over.
How'd they trash it? I don't remember that.
Well, I don't remember the full details, but I know that they trashed it. Not literally. They didn't.
Yeah, they dropped the prestige.
Yeah, they didn't. I mean, and then they merged it in with all the titles and whatnot, so it was just lost its value before.
All you gotta do is say this is a prestigious title and put someone prestigious holding it, like if you would put Dean Ambrose on or Seth Rollins or something like that, and get it
They could easily reverse that, but I don't see that happening. So, anyways, we got the main event, John Cena, WWE Champion versus Ryback, in a 3 stages of hell match.
Only the fourth one. First one without Triple H.
This is the 4th of all time, 3 stages.
Yeah. And Triple H has been all of them except for this one.
I did not know that.
I heard him saying that.
So, who do you got?
I got Ryback winning because they're making it look like that John Cena's going to win the lumberjack and then Ryback's going to win the tables. I think Ryback will somehow win the lumberjack match, and then John Cena. I don't think he should just throw him. I think it should be like Ryback falls or something, goes through a table.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cena will win the tables match, and then Cena will win the ambulance match, or probably Ryback will be about to get ready to put him in, and Cena will just Superman him and put him in there.
Well, which
I don't like Ryback.
I think you're crazy because I don't see them taking the belt off of Cena.
No, I said Cena's going to win it.
You said Cena's going to win
it. It's going to look like Ryback's going to win the ambulance match, but then Cena does his little Superman act and puts Ryback in the ambulance before he can do it to him.
Okay, yeah. See, I agree with that. Cena's going to win. Scoth agrees.
I don't like Ryback. I don't like him. I don't think he's main event. He's not good on the mic, really.
Well, he wasn't too bad this last.
I mean, he's improved, but I don't think he deserved to be the WWE Championship match to begin with because he lost at WrestleMania to Mark Henry, and they made like Mark Henry is going to be a number 1 contender, but then all of a sudden Ryback takes him out. That's real good logic there.
No, that's WWE for you. So
yeah, that's WWE logic.
And then Scoth, he's got Cena winning, so Cena's gonna win if Scoth has it.
No, it's like you said, it's pretty much been confirmed that it's gonna be a John Cena Daniel Bryan match for the WWE title.
Yep.
So
it's either at the July pay-per-view, which is the ladder match,
or the Money in Bank, or SummerSlam.
The one.
I think they actually have more pushed it to the SummerSlam.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing, but they said it could happen at the Money in Bank. It could be
Daniel Bryan could win the money. I read this that'd be a pretty good idea. Daniel Bryan wins the Money in the Bank match, and then to keep him face, he cashes it in before time, he just to prove that he's not the weak link.
Yeah. I don't like I don't like when they do that. I wanna have them cashing in, have a surprise.
I mean, they always have they've only cashed in ahead of time twice, RVD and John Cena.
Yeah.
But I think just to prove that he's not the weak link, he'd go ahead and cash it, set for at SummerSlam.
Yep. So, we'll see WWE Paybacks this Sunday. There's a nice plug for you, WWE. Now you got to return the favor. And
they ain't gonna see this, so they ain't gonna return it. But
if DDP listens to it, he might give him a buzz. You never know. But yeah. So this is the first podcast, Double D Digitally Daring podcast, and
we'll find a better name.
Yeah, well, we got names there, but I don't know if I want.
Do we want to name them off real quick?
Yeah, go ahead and name them off.
The first one was The Odd Couple. I don't know where that came from.
RDJ.
You want to just alternate who named it off?
God dang it. Gonna have to go say the next one until I get this thing pulled back up here.
Next one is Night Court. Still don't know where that one came. Must have been RDJ. Yep. Night Court.
Then you got the Double D. You got LAL. It's not the Lakers.
And then there's Balls, which is SB and LAL's initials scrambled up.
And then you got Sausage Fest.
Then there's Banhammer.
And then you got SB's Hour of Studliness. And then ... also featuring LAL in small letters.
And to finish it off, it's SB and Lau's Mystery Hour. Mystery Hour in bigger letters.
So you can obviously tell that all those names
suck.
Pretty much. So we'll keep trying to figure out a name.
Hey, make a post. If someone has a better name, make a post in the announcement thread or something.
Or PM one of us. So next week we're gonna have a guest. Don't know who it is. RB maybe. Cardon.
He said he wanted to be on it, so we reserved the first
Yep.
spot for him. But if he don't want to do it, we can find someone else.
Like DDP.
Yeah, we can get DDP. Yeah, I think we'll have to kick RB Cardone for DDP.
Yeah, if DDP wants on, sorry RB, but you're not coming on. Okay. But yeah. So until then, we'll see you on the next podcast. Hopefully next week. So, yep.